And Tom, I don't know if I need to ask you for like a specific price target on Nvidia at this point, but that was the market leadership until this summer when it broke down. What do we need from it at this point?
Well, I mean, Nvidia is still at the center of the entire transformation that's coming with AI, and Nvidia continues to be one of the leading companies. So, from a long-term investor perspective, I think anyone should look at Nvidia's congestion and consolidation as opportunities to add if they don't have exposure. And then I think for anyone else, it's just a time to be patient because, of course, stocks don't just go straight up.
We'll go. There are a couple stocks, however, moving higher. Nvidia is up about 3%. Yes, almost 3%. The company hosting a 3-day summit in Washington starting today. It's up 25% over the past month. That move has pushed its market cap back up above $3 trillion and passed Microsoft into second place behind just Apple.
In a week that feels like the Super Bowl of tech earnings, amidst the intense face-offs among the Magnificent Seven, a twist has emerged that's capturing every investor's attention. Nvidia, the titan of AI-powered semiconductors, sees its stock rise as the market eagerly anticipates financial disclosures from some of tech's most influential players, with Alphabet and AMD leading the charge. Nvidia, often considered the darling of the AI world, reversing its earlier losses, paints a picture of opportunity and intrigue. Are Alphabet's spending habits the key to maintaining Nvidia's growth trajectory? And will AMD's latest numbers reveal a David ready to challenge this Goliath? As investors brace themselves for revelations from Google's parent company, Alphabet, and industry rival AMD, this week's reports promise not just numbers, but a narrative of power, strategy, and the ever-dynamic race in technology's fast lane. Welcome back, everyone, to Investocracy.
Octavio Marenzi's with us, CEO at Optimus. Good afternoon, Octavio. Some of your thoughts on what we're seeing here in this market, where we're really seeing a divergence today. Some of your thoughts.
Today, I think, as you pointed out, the story is really all about Nvidia and what's going on there. I think it's starting to behave much more like a cryptocurrency than a real stock. It's going up and down pretty wildly. And I think it's a reflection of the fact that people are starting to get a bit nervous about these valuations that we're seeing in Nvidia. I mean, the multiples are just enormous and seem to be growing. I think a lot of participants in the market seem to be assuming that this is just a tree that's going to grow to the sky and never end. And I think it might be worth sort of looking up some of the other semiconductor stocks and seeing what they have up their sleeves and whether they can compete in some way, fashion in the future with Nvidia. And I think if you start to do that, you might see that there are some interesting investment opportunities there as well.
In the bustling world of semiconductors, few stories entice as much interest as Nvidia's. Their latest stock performance reversal, coupled with their rumored partnership with Alphabet, suggests a complex dance in capital expenditure that might signal continuing growth for Nvidia's prized AI graphics processing units. Nvidia, despite experiencing a minor dip recently, bounced back with a 0.73% increase, bringing its share price to $141.54. Investors are now eagerly watching Alphabet's financials, as their spending might very well indicate the demand trend for Nvidia's AI tech, an integral component that fuels their cloud offerings. Throwing in a little humor to ease the tension, if the stock market had a talent show, Nvidia and AMD would probably be the last two battling it out in a dramatic duel, with the judges torn between AMD's dazzling roadmap and Nvidia's robust first-mover advantage. Advanced Micro Devices is making waves too. Under the visionary leadership of Lisa Su, AMD has transformed itself from a struggling contender into a formidable competitor to Nvidia. Su's strategic brilliance has not only restored AMD's standing, but has also spurred the company to target the data center CPU and GPU markets aggressively. AMD's Q3 2024 saw an extraordinary surge in their Instinct data center GPU sales, reportedly skyrocketing to over $1.5 billion. A staggering 30.4 times increase from the previous year. While these numbers show a considerable acceleration, the Instinct GPUs still face a stiff rivalry with Nvidia's own offerings. Interestingly, AMD expects its data center group to outgrow its client group, flipped from being a smaller segment to perhaps overtaking it by 2026. The alignment of AMD's strategies with favorable market trends and technology adoption presents an intriguing potential for a seismic shift in the computing landscape. AMD's newly launched MI300 series, packed with powerful AI capabilities and pricing, exhibits their ambition to carve a substantial market share. But before we go any further, If you want to keep up with Nvidia's latest updates and keep up with the stock market's latest news, you can follow our Twitter account. We post multiple times daily about the biggest changes and catalysts in the market, so click the follow button if you don't want to miss the newest market updates.
There's also this feeling from some of the folks I've been interviewing that maybe there's just the whole group of semiconductors in particular, you mentioned those, are just too frothy and overpriced.
Yes, certainly they are pretty rich in value, but none more than Nvidia. So I think if you look at the comparables, if you compare Nvidia to other semiconductor manufacturers, basically gone off the charts. It's completely off the charts in terms of where that valuation lies. I do think they have the potential to catch up with Nvidia at some stage in terms of the chipsets they provide, and in terms of what they provide to data centers in particular, where so much of Nvidia's strength and growth has come over the course of the past year. And certainly some of the biggest data center providers are busily designing their own chips and building their own chips and quietly doing that without making too much fanfare and noise about it. So I wouldn't expect to see Nvidia's lead continue forever. We're going to see other people come up with new ways to skin a cat with a better mousetrap, and that might make Nvidia look very, very richly priced currently.
Although priced at around $22,500 on average, demand appears robust, with hundreds of thousands of these units selling, even as they vie against Nvidia's dominance. On the other hand, Nvidia, with CEO Jensen Huang's leadership, relishes its first-mover advantage in the AI technology revolution. With a market cap nearing $3.45 trillion, Nvidia is heralded as a cornerstone in the new wave of computing, benefiting significantly from its pioneering innovations. In a candid conversation with analysts, Lisa Su, AMD's CEO, asserted their achievements in narrowing the gap with Nvidia. The narrative that AMD has become a credible number 2 to Intel over the years underscores its newfound credibility and trust in the eyes of data center clients. The humorous part?
No! God, please, no! No!
AMD is like that underdog everyone roots for in a feel-good movie. It once traded at $3 a share and now stands tall, proving that tales of phoenix-like rises aren't just reserved for Hollywood. As AMD aims to continue this upward trajectory, Wall Street's skepticism underscores the challenges it must navigate, especially when weighed against Nvidia's undisputed leadership. Nonetheless, with AMD's continued commitment to excellence over the past decade, it makes a strong case for being more than just a distant second place. But before going any further, if you made it this far into the video, thank you. These videos take a lot of effort and time to make, so if you enjoyed them, please hit the like button and subscribe to the channel. This goes a long way in helping us grow. That said, back to the video.
So if you think Nvidia hits the skids or has some sort of trouble in the first half of next year, how do you trade it now?
I don't think you need to chase it. I think a lot of investors that I talk to want to own Nvidia. They want it in their portfolio, and those that are thinking in the traditional allocation approach are not thinking I have to have it all today. Having said that, I need to start buying it if I don't have it now. So pullbacks are nice, but ultimately, Nvidia is going to continue to be the dominant or a dominant part of the tech trade. But what Dan's talking about, I think, is really what it comes down to. The CapEx spend that we're going to see out of hyperscalers is what this earnings period is all about. And the irony is, of course, that those stocks may go higher as they talk about less CapEx and less spend on AI. And those are some of the names, frankly, that have reasserted themselves. I mean, look at the move in Meta. If they tell you it's the year of efficiency in AI spend, they've got all this other good news and things that are going for them. And one of the few that is pointing to AI revenue base. And I think it'll go a lot higher.
As we wrap up this riveting look into the heartbeats of tech giants, it is evident that both Nvidia and AMD are playing strategic games of chess rather than checkers. Nvidia's robust stock performance and pioneering role in AI technology mark it as an enduring powerhouse, while AMD's determination and recent successes foreshadow a compelling pursuit of parity. For potential investors, the choice between these giants rests on risk appetite and belief in AMD's underdog rise or Nvidia's well-established record. With Nvidia showing adaptive strength and AMD consistently proving its mettle, the future looks competitive and promising. Currently standing as a strong competitor, AMD's stock displays both potential and volatility. It dropped nearly 8% recently, yet it holds the promise of further growth as it strengthens its market position. Will AMD continue to cut into Nvidia's territory, or is Nvidia poised to retain its substantial lead against all odds? We invite you to join this compelling dialogue. What's your take on AMD's ambitious climb or Nvidia's dominance in the AI sector? Share your thoughts and predictions as these two tech titans write the next chapters of their stories in the ever-evolving market landscape. And finally, if you would like to know what companies like Nvidia have been up to these past few days, go ahead and click on the next video on your screen. See you there.